Oh, man, I'm so excited, Desmond. Here we are.
Yo, welcome everybody to Our Voice Podcast for another episode.
Man, I am Neil Voles. I am here with the Deputy Director of the Florida Rights Restoration Coalition. I'm here with Desmond, man. Tell us a little bit about what you got going on.
And I am Desmond Meade, the Executive Director of Florida Rights Restoration Coalition. And man, there is a lot going on, right? But the words that just keep popping in my head is jobs, 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 right?
Oh, I'm so excited, man. Like, I've been waiting all the time for this thing, man. We're talking about second chance hiring. We're talking to returning citizens and business leaders, man. It's gonna be hot,
man. Listen, I remember when I was released from incarceration, right? And you know, I tell folks a lot, right, that when I was in my bunk in the prison and I was anticipating getting released, I wasn't rubbing my hands saying, "Man, I can't wait to get out so I can go and vote." Right? No, it wasn't about that. It was like, man, I'm wondering what's going to happen when I get out. You know, will I be able to find a place to live? Will I be able to get a job? Because, you know, how could I pay for anything if I can't work? And then knowing that I had a conviction in my background and arrest in my background and knowing how difficult it is, man, because I remember beating the pavement, man, in the hot sun, going from business to business to business, starting out good. And then at the end, when they find out, you know, I have a record, they just have that look on their face where I'm like, I know they're not calling me back.
Nah, I can totally relate, man. I remember moving to Florida, like I'm going to start my life over. You know, I want to do things right. That meant checking that box, man, day after day, week after week, trying to get a job, you know, just hoping and praying, come on, I need that money, you know, I need to like that. That's fuel for, you know, my dreams and my hopes. And it took a long time before I got that just little break, you know, but that was a big deal.
And you was off to the races ever since, huh?
No, that's exactly right.
But, you know, let me tell you, one of the things that, you know, in you know, my job as far, you know, when we were first building out FRC, you know, I'm traveling around the state and I'm running into all kinds of amazing returning citizens and that's telling the story about not being able to get a job. And then some of them, though, they took it. They were like, you know what? To heck with that. You know, if I can't, if nobody don't want to hire me, then I'm going to start my own business.
No, that's I kept seeing the same pattern where it was like somebody would start, you know, like, hey, I'm going to take that job at Burger King. I'm going to work at Walmart, right? We're going to do whatever I need to do. And they start to try and climb that ladder and you realize, dang, I can't get a license to be this next thing, or I can't get that next job. And like you said, it's like, you know, I think I'm going to do my own thing.
Yep. And they start their own business, man. And that's why I'm glad that we're dedicating this episode to about second chance hiring and how do we make a way out of no way, right? And I think it's so important to give, you know, our listeners, especially those who are returning citizens, a glimpse into the life of other returning citizens who face the same challenges, right? But found ingenious ways to just take a lemon and turn it into lemonade.
No, that's right, Des, man. I'm sitting there thinking about somebody who just got out. I'm thinking about somebody who's on probation right now. I'm thinking about somebody who somehow is listening to this podcast and they're like, man, I don't got any hope. You know, and we've got 4 people. We got overcomers.
We got hope for you guys today.
No, that's right. And what we got are people who have embraced this idea, you know, that it's like, I'm going to work twice as hard to get half as far. And then suddenly you see people prosper. And that's who we're talking about today. Folks who are blessed and feel like, man, I'm grateful for this opportunity, but I'm going to give back.
Well, listen, y'all, let me tell you, first of all, Our Voice Podcast is specifically designed to amplify the voices of returning citizens or people who've been impacted by the criminal justice system. For so long, there have been others that's been talking on our behalf, raising up our issues, speaking for us. But we want to change all that. And that's what Our Voice podcast is all about, is that we could own our own story. We could own our own narrative. And we want to elevate the voices of people who have been impacted.
So look, if you're out there and you're somebody who, you know, your family member has been impacted by the system, you've been arrested and you're struggling to get by, you got a conviction and you just want to take that next step, this podcast is for you. We are here to talk about issues that impact all of us from our perspective in a real way, in a meaningful way. So, man, I'm excited for today.
Listen, and because it's about you and not about us, we're going to go ahead and jump right into the show and bring our first guest up on. Neil, we want to go ahead and introduce our first guest.
I am so excited because Monique is going to be joining us. And she is actually from my hometown, Fort Myers. I'm going to let her tell her story. But we're going to go ahead and bring Monique up here. Let me find Monique. And
Monique, where are you, Monique? Calling Monique.
All right, there's Monique right there. Okay. Monique, can you hear us? We go ahead. Oh, here you are. All right. So if you want to unmute yourself, Monique, you're going to be joining the Our Voice podcast with Neil and Des. What's going on? Oh, Monique, it looks like you are on mute. If we can get you unmuted there. There you go. There you go. What's up, Monique?
Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me?
We can hear you. How you doing?
I am well. How are you?
Fantastic. Thanks for joining us. It's, I mean, your family, right? We live up the street from each other, and you're an inspiration to me, and it's just an honor to have you on the show with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Welcome on the show, Monique. This is Desmond. And listen, I'm ready to jump right in, man. I need to know, who are you? And tell me that special thing about you that we're going to use to inspire so many other people.
Who am I? My name is Monique Smith. I am a converted felon. I use my life story as an inspiration to other women who have faced trials and let them know that there's triumph after tragedy. I've been a convicted felon since I was 19. I am 40 plus something years old, so it has been a struggle with finding jobs, finding housing. So I am a business owner, and I use my business to help other people who have been through what I've been through, to let them know that you don't have to be a product of what society says you are.
Hey, Monique, what made you start your own business?
I was working at a fast food restaurant. They brought me into the office. They actually called the police on me. Now I applied, filled out the application, checked the box.
Go ahead, Monique.
I checked the box, and when after 2 weeks, the police came and they escorted me from the job. After doing a background check, they were afraid to have me working at the job.
Whoa, Monique. So you're saying you got the job, you were doing the job.
Yes.
And then law enforcement shows up.
Yep. They did. It took them 2 weeks for the background to come back. I was doing an excellent job. They were satisfied with my service. No complaints whatsoever. They invited me into the office, and then the police escorted me out of the job.
And this was a fast food restaurant?
This was minimum wage fast food.
What's the name of that restaurant? I need to know the name of it.
I don't want to do that. I actually scratched it out to make sure that I didn't say it. But let's just say they have some decent ice cream and hot dogs.
Dairy Queen. Listen, let me tell you, because here's the deal. Across the country, businesses are standing up and taking this pledge, supporting second chance hiring. And they're talking about how they realize that even people with backgrounds, right, should have the opportunity to be able to work and to thrive and to live and enjoy life, right?
Right.
And so when we find businesses that are willing to work with people with backgrounds, we want to lift them up. And then those businesses that don't want, why on earth would they even have the police come to escort you out?
Because of the nature of my charge.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Monique, and I'm not telling you anything you don't know. I'm not telling anybody probably listening what they don't know. But it's like all the data shows, right? Well, our life experience has already proven that people who are returning citizens, people with past convictions, people formerly incarcerated, are just the same in the workplace. No matter what our background, same chance to get retained, same chance to get a promotion, same chance to stay for a long time, same chance to be leaders, and yet you had to go through this situation. Like, I'm feeling for you. I can't imagine what the traumatic situation was like. Here you are, you think you're moving forward, and then suddenly that thing happens.
So, right. Monique, I got a question for you, right? Because one thing that you subliminally highlighted, right, is the fact that a lot of times when we talk about criminal justice or mass incarceration and the collateral consequences, it's always from a male's perspective, right? And it's always thinking about men, right? And even when we talk about jobs, right, people getting jobs, we typically think in the framework of a man, right? Mm-hmm. And I know, listening to you talk, I could imagine that it's even more challenging for a woman to be able to enter into the workplace. Because I mean, there could be tons of construction jobs out there and roofing jobs, and we're going to talk to us folks that own roofing companies soon. But you know, I'm just wondering, can you speak a little bit about the challenges that you face as a woman and trying to enter into the workplace?
I faced many challenges, not only in the workplace, but also in my personal life. It was difficult to, well, I mean, I guess to enlighten the nature of my charge, it was aggravated battery with a deadly weapon with intent to do bodily harm. It sounds like bad on paper, but I was in a domestic violence situation and I protected myself. So when they see that, it's automatic. If I raise my voice, I'm considered a threat. If I bat my eyes or roll my eyes, I'm looked upon as what it says that I am on paper. So it was extremely difficult to find any type of job. And I mean, even going to the labor pool, sometimes it was an issue with certain jobs. I can remember I was hanging clothes for a retail store, and same concept. They knew my background. I appeared to have an attitude, and I was escorted out by the police.
Wow.
Man.
Wow. I'm sorry you had to experience that,
And Monique, one of the things that you said that really stuck out to me was like this idea that, hey, I'm not who I am on paper. Right? You know what I'm saying? I think that is a whole theme of our lives, right? I look at you and I heard you say that and I'm like, oh my gosh, Monique is an amazing, amazing daughter of God and just an incredible business owner in our community. I mean, you give back, you teach young girls how to be entrepreneurs, right? So how did you go from that situation at Dairy Queen to all of a sudden saying, hey, I got this. You know what? I'm going to move forward. I'm going to take that step. I'm going to start my own business. I'll show you all.
I'm going to be extremely transparent. Once I realized that my charge, my past all stemmed from low self-esteem, one day I just decided that I was going to look in the mirror and I was going to accept every flaw, my physical flaws, as well as what has happened in my life. And I had to embrace those flaws. So once I did that, one of my biggest flaws is I suffer from bipolar disorder. I had to acknowledge that I needed help. So I changed my circle. I started to get help. I got on medication. And from that, my life changed. I know it sounds strange, but wow. I had to appreciate the person that I saw in the mirror. Wow. Once I fell in love with what I saw, I wanted others to see who I really was and not what the paper said that I was. So I started little by little sharing my story. I had, I think, $3,000 and 2 clients, and I took a leap of faith and I opened up a salon. Within 2 months, those 2 clients, they left me and I was with nothing. So I kind of got in a funk again. I prayed to God and I asked him for guidance. Here we are 9 years later. I have a full service salon. I have 3 stylists. I actually have 4 junior stylists because I also teach hair care and how to be business owners. As Neil said, I changed my circle more than anything and surrounded myself with positive people.
Wow. That's what's up. Hey, you know what, Monique? We're going to change DQ into don't quit because that's exactly what you did. You didn't quit, and you looking within yourself and embracing yourself and loving the flaws and all is something that all of us need to do. I think, matter of fact, Neil, you know what? One of our episodes should be on mental health or the traumas that people who have been incarcerated face.
Yeah,
But
no doubt about it. That was deep, Monique. I mean,
Yeah.
I think sometimes people kind of get on a show or have a conversation, and it's all about like, well, I put this business plan together. I made this networking connection. I really appreciate your transparency, right?
yeah,
Because
being
you're
vulnerable, being vulnerable with
You
us.
have to be, because once you get to the core of what the issues are, because usually I'm confident enough to say 10 times out of 10, anyone who has ever been incarcerated, it has to do with some traumatic or mental, something along those lines that caused us to act in that manner and do those type of behaviors. So it's okay not to be okay. And,
That's
and
what's up.
once society understands that we're people, and don't defy us by what's on paper, I think society would be so much better.
That's right.
And I got to tell you, and we live in a world, right, where it's easy to put somebody in a cage, man. We can do it anywhere, anytime with real quickness, but get somebody in front of a counselor, right? Like, where's that 24-hour therapist, right, for that person? I think we can see things a different way if we want to, and your story illuminates that really powerfully.
Oh,
Well, Monique, we want to just thank you for your time. You're welcome to hang around for a little bit. We're gonna bring in another returning citizen.
That's right.
Who has started their own business, and I said "their" because I don't want to reveal if it's a male or female until we get the person up. But Monique, listen, you are inspiration. Keep doing what you're doing. Make sure that when we come down there, when I come down there to the Fort Myers area, maybe you can touch up my bald head a little bit to hook a brother up.
I got you. I created an oil that it grows hair, so I got you. And if not,
wow,
we can make you some hair.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, Monique, before we bring this next person on, what's the name of your place? Shout it out. Let folks know about it.
Okay, so you can find me on Instagram. I actually started a new channel. It's called Mo Unmuted. It's the life of living with bipolar. You can also check me out on beautybraidsandbeyond.net. That's my website, and it will link you to all my social media platforms.
Beauty, braids, and beyond.
The 3 B's.
I like that. I like that.
That's what's up. So thank you, Monique. We're grateful for you.
Let me ask you, have you bought any ice cream from that place since?
I actually ate from there before I got on the show.
Well, hey, I guess you believe in forgiveness too, then, right?
You have to. And in order to move forward, you have to. And it is actually from the same one that let me go 10, 15, probably 20 years ago. Gosh, yes, I'm getting old. From the same location. And you have to. In order to move forward, you have to forgive. You have to forgive those who have judged you based upon what they see. And I do kind of get a kick out of letting them see the person that I've become. So,
well, hey, keep doing what you do.
It makes it a little bit better.
Keep doing what you do, okay?
Thank you.
And I'll be looking forward to that hair oil.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, thanks, Monique.
Who we got, Neil?
We are going to bring on next Mr. John Huffman.
Who? Wait a minute. The Huffman guy?
That's exactly right.
Peanut butter jelly guy?
Oh, John, he did not just do that. He did not.
No.
Hey, John, are you on with us? It looks like you're on and you ready to jump in here, man.
Yes, sir. Can you guys hear me?
Oh, we can hear you well, and we can also see you, because I definitely saw you dancing that peanut butter and jelly dance.
Yeah, man. You know it. You know it. Hey, them knees was hurting for a couple days now.
I hear you. I hear you.
Oh, man, I love your spirit, man. It's so great to have you on here. We would love for you to just kind of share with the audience a little bit, whatever it is that you want to share about your story, about your business. Give us the name of it, what you're doing. I'm a big John Huffman fan. I'm on the Huffman parade, so you know how much I love you, man. And just share a little bit about yourself, will you?
Well, I appreciate that, man. First, it's all glory to God first. Last grade I really finished was the 6th grade. Spent most of my childhood in and out of juvenile detention centers. So I always tell people, I'm uneducated. I have no business running a business, but God seen differently. And again, in and out of juvenile detentions. Mom was on crack cocaine. Father wasn't around for a lot of it, for any of it really. And I just, God's been good to me. We're rocking and rolling as a business. doing ministry every minute that I have, and got a wife, four beautiful children. So yeah, man, God's just been really good, man. I own Innovative Design Solutions. I do have partners. I'm the president of Innovative Design Solutions. It's a remodel company, and God gave me a vision when I was in a program called Teen Challenge. He gave me a vision and said that I would be a pillar in the community so that I could help support the communities and the ministries that were around me, that my business would be a ministry. And I've just been watching that unfold and falling more and more in love with God and his vision and his people. So that's a little bit about me, man.
Hey, John, listen, you said a couple of things. First of all, how old were you when you first got in trouble?
I was 11 years old when I caught my first felony.
11?
Yeah. Yep. I went to the drill academy, which was in Immokalee Stockade. I was the youngest kid to ever go to a level 6 program. I was 12 years old. I went to a level 6 boot camp.
Wow. And so you started out in the hole before you was even 18.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. And so you talk about your mom, and that kind of touched me too, because I was addicted to crack cocaine at one point in my life as well. And then you talk about your dad not being there, and then you were involved in the criminal justice system from the age of 11. And so there was all of the ingredients right there to say that you would never be successful, that you're going to end up dead or spending the rest of your life in prison. But you said those two words, but God.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But God, what is your business all about?
So my business is remodels. So we transform homes. And I always say that one of my favorite things is watching lives transform. So I always believe that that everything that happens in the spiritual manifests in the physical, right?
Okay.
So I just think it's so awesome that God would have me fall in love with watching lives transform. And then in my business, in my secular business, I'm transforming houses. So again, man, it's just really cool to get to do that. Speaking into people, letting them know there's hope, letting them know that, hey, just because you didn't start at everybody else's starting line just means you got to train a little harder. And when you get to that halfway mark, you're going to be twice the man that they were.
Wow.
So you can't look at it as, hey, man, they put me way back here. No, you got to look at it as a blessing and an opportunity. Hey, that just means while they're sitting down watching their favorite TV show, I'm grinding. So in 3 years from now, they wonder why I'm at their table. It's because you was watching your favorite TV show while I was grinding, So that's just the way that I've looked at it. So watching God transform my life and transform houses is just a blessing.
So Neil, before we move on, let me tell you. So John just reminded me. Let me tell you. First of all, huge shout out to our folks at Fireside Chat for really helping to create this platform, and then a double shout out to our production team of Xavier and Brandon, who helped put together this amazing lineup, because everything, it's like there's a flow there. And I don't know, they had to intentionally do this.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because he's talking about remodeling homes. And now I know we got a guest coming up that has been building homes. And then he talk about his faith. And we got another guest that is a man of faith that employs returning citizens as well. And so I love the lineup there, and I wanted to make sure that we recognize our production team in the background, Brandon and Xavier, and definitely the folks at Fireside Chat for helping us provide this platform for us.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, the teamwork makes the dream work, and just seeing people prosper, and kind of like John was saying, like this is a life change moment for so many folks. Putting a podcast together, right? Bringing people together and saying, hey, let's have a family conversation of us, right? And talk about real things, right? Like John, I know that you employ people who have been through the criminal justice system now, right? So it's intentional that you're like, hey, I'm helping to transform lives as I'm helping to transform these homes. So tell us a little bit about what it's like to hire people who have been through some of the same things that you've been through, or been through some different things, but have been through something.
Yeah, it's such a blessing. Can I say a little story? It's short. So I'm sitting at our conference table, right? And I got one of my superintendents that is doing really good. And we hire, people with second chances straight out of some rehabs and things like that. And one of my supers, he's got some time under his belt, and he looked at me and he says, "Man, we really need to, think about hiring some of these Justin Place guys." And Justin Place is a rehab here in Naples. Neil, you're very familiar with it. And I looked at him and I says, remember when you came and talked to me and you had a little bit of alcohol on your breath and you were broken and you were this and that, and now you're running my jobs. I says, what if someone would have told me not to hire you? I says, but now I'm sitting across the table from you and you're one of my main men right now. I says, so understand something. We're always going to be in the business of second chances because God's in the business of second chances. And even some of my employees now, Neil, I've had to let go and I've rehired because, again, I know that that's what God is all about. Wow. So, yeah, man, I don't look at that, man. I really don't look at that. And one more thing is it's a blessing that when they go through it, like we just had one of our employees, he called me crying. He said, man, John, I messed up. I love my job. I said, hey, calm down. What's going on? He says, man, I'm about 6 to 8 weeks in taking pills again, and I'm detoxing if I don't have it. So again, hey, man, we put a plan together for him. Said, listen, let's do 90 meetings in 90 days. Let's get you detoxed in DL. Let's get you out. And it's been about 6 weeks right now. He's shining again. He's lit up. So again, it's like not only is there a profit in my business, but that's the biggest profit right there is being able to see life changed even in my business. And God convicted me years ago and said, there can't be two Johns, because there was a time that there was two Johns. There was Innovative Design Solutions John and then Pastor John. And God said, no, I need you to be the same John, whether you at work or whether you praying for people. There can't be two different things, man. So he really humbled me in that. And that's the way that I live,
Well, John, I really appreciate that, and one of the things that, we do here at FRC, and you even see it in our brand, right? We tell folks a lot, we don't lean left, we don't lean right. We lean straight forward into the issues that impact people with felony convictions. And we believe that there are people from all walks of life, all political persuasions who've been impacted by the criminal justice system. And those same people and their family members and friends are the ones who are going to help us change the system to improve the quality of lives for people with backgrounds, right? And I say all that to say that, a lot of times, folks, think that only certain type of people care or only certain type of people is going to help people that may have a criminal history, right? Or whether it's, maybe it's, if I'm African-American, man, ain't no white person going to give me a job, man, because they terrified of me, right? Or definitely those Republicans definitely ain't giving me a job, because they don't want anything good happening for me or whatever. And we know that that's not the case. I know that that's not the case. And I really want to just talk to you even about your, your perspectives, right? Or perspective, on life and even in politics, right? Not getting into the politics, but getting into who you are as a person and how you lean left or right or whatever,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because John, maybe you could share with us a little bit, right? Because like so many of us, right? Voting for the first time, getting plugged into the system, like feeling your way around, man. What was that like? And how'd you kind of support your business in the process?
First thing I want to say is thank y'all, because I voted this last election. That was the first time I voted.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom. Yeah. That's right. Booyah.
So Pete Game now, I started in the system. I was on probation from 11 years old all the way till 26. Like you talk about being consistent. Like I might have got off for a week or two, but I caught another, so what a blessing that was. I mean, I really don't lean left or right either. God convicted me a while back and said, lead with Christ, not your opinion, because I have an opinion. Right? But a lot of times my opinion don't matter. It's love and acceptance and things like that, what Christ represents in my life. But yeah, if you're asking me what I thought about this election, is that what you're asking me about this last election?
Yeah, go ahead, share it.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, you know, so I have core values: responsive, excellence, attitude, and liability. That spells real. Because when I was growing up, we had a saying, real recognize real. You ever hear that saying?
We definitely know that saying.
Yeah. So, you know, for me, like, I'm so sick of politics. I'm so sick of, just being fed a carrot, you know. So for me, like, you know, although Trump and me didn't see eye to eye on some things, I work in the construction field, and builders and investors are those guys that always get you at the end. And Trump's definitely one of them. You know, he's a business guy. He's cutthroat. Hey, I owe you 30 grand. You can fight me in court for 50 to get your 30, or I'll give you 20 right now. You make the decision. You know what I'm saying? And those are the type of guys. But you get what you see. You know what I'm saying? You get what you see with him. And I went that way this round because I was just so sick of it. I'm like, man, I'm just sick of the politics. I'm sick of people being soft. We just need someone to shake something up and get what we see. And also from a business aspect, I look at it like this. If I ain't got the money in the bank or I ain't got the cash flow, I can't spend it, right? Uh-huh. So I was looking at it from a perspective, as a business perspective. He understands business. If I'm getting free money and all this, why aren't they making micro businesses? Why aren't they turning dollars? Why aren't they investing dollars? Mm-hmm. Why aren't they taking our dollars, turning them for investment so that America grows, so we're not so dependent on our people? Because if we're dependent on the people, first of all, if you're dependent on the business owners and the people making money, eventually that well's going to run dry. Then the people that do need the government are dependent on the government. If the well runs dry, now the people that were making money are dry, and the people that were needing the money were dry. So at the end of the day, everybody's dry. So I was looking at it as like, well, the man knows how to run a business. He knows how to play the system. So, you know, I rolled the dice and went there, but that was just my perspective on it, man. And, you know, I hated
I got to say, man, John, it's so interesting to hear you use the phrase real recognizes real, because I was sitting there thinking about, we're all about getting everybody out to vote, right? Yeah. So, man, we went all across the state in that bus. We talked to people in every community, and I was in the muck, man, down Belglade, and I'm talking to some guy, and he's telling me, I'm not asking, but he's telling me that he's getting ready to go vote for President Trump. And he used that exact phrase, man. That was really interesting.
Real recognize real.
Yeah. He's like, man, I've been in this community for 40 years, man. That's a sugar town. And he looked like you does. He didn't look like me. But so I, in my mind, I had my own biases. I was just sitting there going like, man, wow, that's interesting. And he said, yeah, real recognize the real.
Yeah, that's just reality, man, that some folks don't want to admit, man. But yeah, it's, folks, different strokes for different folks.
That's
you
right.
know?
That's right.
But but back to this life that we live. I'm glad to hear, John, that you decide to lead with Christ, right? Like we lead with people first. That's our thing. People over politics, and we fight for anyone. When we were doing our thing with Amendment 4, we were saying, listen, we fight just hard for the person that might want to vote for Donald Trump and the one that wish they could have voted for Barack Obama, and so awesome. Everybody should have an opportunity. And I'm so glad that you had an opportunity to cast your vote, man.
No, that's what's up, man.
Yep. Can I say one thing too? Mm-hmm. So I got in a little Facebook war over that. So, someone said, these felons getting the rights to vote back, blah, blah, blah. And I went on there and I says, hey, what do you think about me voting? I led them down a path. I knew what I was doing. They didn't know the old John. You know what I mean? They didn't know where I came from. They just know the business owner and the fat white preacher man. And so I led them down that path. And I says, well, how dare you you know, what about me and my rights? You know, you're thinking so small minded that you're thinking every felon is just gonna vote for handouts and not hand ups. Like my girl Mo said. Mo said, I want a hand up, not a handout.
Yep,
you know,
yep.
so for you to have such a small mind to think automatically all felons are just gonna lean one way, that right there just shows you you're thinking small. My business partner voted opposite to me, and I love him. You know, he's very close to me, and God, and my brother's a very, very strong liberal, and me and him have a better relationship today because we're real with one another, and because we're real with one another, and he knows I love him and he loves me, and at the end of the day, nothing's going to change that. It allows us to have those hard conversations, and that's when he goes, "Man, bro, I never looked at it that way," and me too. I'm like, "Dang, bro, I never seen it from that perspective."
Well, isn't he talking that? Yeah, he's talking that Amendment 4 talk, right? About love, right? That we do. I mean, because here we are, Neil. No, Neil is the white conservative guy, you know, and I'm the black guy and stuff. But you know, we're brothers. We look at each other as brothers, and we believe that even though there may be some differences in our political opinions, that just should not get in the way of us respecting each other's humanity, right? And loving each other as Christ would love us, or loving each other as if we would want somebody to love us, right? And so I appreciate you bringing the word love into this. I also appreciate talking about, you know, people wanting a hand up, right, not a hand out, because our next guest, we got somebody calling in right now. John, just stick around, because this brother right here, and I call him a brother from another mother, is a person that believes in giving people a hand up, right? And he believes in loves and second chances. Let me see if he's on now.
Hey, Arthur, are you on, man?
I'm with you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, no, we just got a little feedback, Arthur. Arthur, how you doing? Arthur, I want you to meet John. John, meet Arthur.
How you doing?
So, hello there, John. I was a little late to the game, but it was sure a pleasure hearing what you had to say there at the end. I could have spoken a lot of that myself, so it's been a joy listening to you.
John is a preacher, Arthur. John is a preacher that know how to do the peanut butter jelly dance with a baseball bat. And I mean, he's got some moves, Arthur. I think he might give you a run for the money. But Arthur, man, listen, we don't have much time, but please introduce yourself. Tell folks what it is that you do, and why do you think Desmond asked you to call into the show?
My name is Arthur Knapp, as Desmond so eloquently put it. I am the owner of Stratus Construction and Roofing here in Orlando, and we do a lot of things throughout the country involving construction, primarily with commercial roofing, and we do a lot of that with the state of Florida. So we do a lot of hiring and a lot of firing, and Desmond knows my heart when it comes to everybody deserves a chance, and we believe in giving that chance and seeing where it leads to, taking people out of the box. And I think that's why we're here to talk about tonight.
Yeah. So Arthur, can you like talk through that a little bit, you know, because you got a big company and you brought a lot of people on. What was that experience like? Like, what was it that first time when you're like, man, I want to give somebody a second chance? And did you see that person prosper, or how'd you deal with that time when you did give somebody a second chance and man, it didn't work out as well? Like, you know, we want the real skinny, man.
The real skinny. Yeah. You have victories and you have things that don't work out. And guess what? That's true of everybody we hire. That's true of college graduates with MBAs, and that's true of guys who are coming out of the prison system. So we don't believe in putting a ceiling on that. And generally, as an employer, we don't get to find out somebody's history until after we've done an interview. That's not the first thing somebody generally leads with. Desmond, you probably would, but most guys are going to sit down across from me and say, hey, let me tell you the most important thing in my life is my prison, and this is what I learned from it, and I wish they would. But usually we've had an interview, so I've gotten to know somebody a little bit first. And like my friend John here said, the whole point of being a Christian man is to give second chances and third chances and fourth chances. If we're really going to claim to live our faith, if I'm really a Christian and Jesus says to forgive 70 times 70, that's 490. I've never fired anybody after the 490. So do we believe that? Or is that just what we're going to talk about on Sunday? And then now let's go out back into the world. Well, it doesn't work that way. We have the ability to change the world if we're willing to live our Christian faith. And I hate to have to put Christ at the front of that, but without that, there is nothing else. So, but to your question, you didn't know I was preaching for a moment.
All right, we got two preachers on.
A great example. We hired a gentleman to come in and run our tile department. And halfway through the interview, he let me know that he had just gotten out. He was a felon and he was still on probation and wasn't sure if he was going to be able to make it with our company. And I didn't want to talk about that. I needed help with tile at that point because I didn't know anything about tile, and I had a big commercial tile job we were trying to do. And we brought him in. And not only did he take over and do that job well, but he took over running the entire tile department eventually. And at this point, he is probably the most important person in our company. And here's what's great about this story is that he came out of a prison up in the panhandle of Florida. Well, after the hurricanes, guess who they called to fix that prison up in the panhandle of Florida? They called my company, and we were happy to go up and do it. And here's the best part of that. They wouldn't let the ex-felons that we had on our team in to fix that prison. Okay, that's their rule. They're still in that box. They're still trying to keep people in a prison. So the guys who actually fixed that prison, who were the ex-cons, they're the ones who ran the job. They couldn't step onto the property, but they were the ones doing the financials. They were the ones doing the ordering. They were the ones doing the planning. They fixed that prison better than any other company could, and we got accolades from the state of Florida. They didn't recognize who they were praising. They thought it was me as a business owner, and it wasn't. It was the guys that used to be in that prison who are now out and rehabilitated. And I forget the word rehabilitated. Show me somebody who hasn't needed a second chance. We're not hiring X anything. We're hiring people. Amen. So that's how it works out. And it doesn't always work out that way. So the difference being that when we bring somebody in and give them an opportunity, we're taking them out of a box, maybe in a way that they haven't seen before. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what their life was like at home. I don't know, not on day one. I don't know what their life was like in the prison system or what their father treated. I don't know any of those things, but it may be that never have they had the opportunity to become who they're supposed to become. Yeah. And until you tell them they can do that, they may not think they have permission to do that. And I know that sounds crazy, but in this world, everybody tells you no. The world's great about telling you how bad you are, how awful you are. If somebody comes along and says, you know what, maybe that's not true. Maybe you're great. Maybe I think you're great and you can rise as high as you want to rise. Just do the job. Then you get a response from that person. And that doesn't always work. I mean, I had to let a guy go this week that was coming out of the prison system and had been on the street, and we got him an apartment and helped him get started with his job, and it just didn't work out for him. So it doesn't always work out. But you know what? If it works out for one guy, hasn't that been worth it? What if that was right? Isn't one person worth it?
That's right. Hey, that's listen, right. You guys heard it from John. You heard it from Arthur. You were great, right? And you could accomplish anything that you want to accomplish if you put your mind to it.
Yeah, don't let anybody put a label on you. Don't let anybody put that label on you, especially yourself.
John, once again, could you give folks the name of your company?
Innovative Design Solutions.
Innovative Design Solutions. I guess you guys can Google it. You got a web address or something like that, John?
NaplesConstruction.net. And then you can find us on social media. Just put Innovative Design Solutions in Naples. Lots of videos, all that fun stuff. And then same with Instagram. Okay. And then on YouTube, if you want to hear us preach, I help those that are in addiction and things like that. I once was struggling with addiction before Christ set me free. So the Harvest Recovery Ministry, and that's on YouTube.
Wow. What about you, Arthur? Is there any way folks could, if they're folks that's looking to get into the roofing business, and they want to give it a shot, right? And they're in the Orlando area.
You know what? I'm gonna do something I never do, Desmond, because I believe there's some business owners out there who would love to take the risk and try and say, let me bet on some people that maybe I didn't think I could bet on. And the entrepreneurs are the ones I want to talk to about that, because They're in the position they are because they bet on themselves. They started a business. They did their own thing. Now, I had some help with that, but somebody coming out of your background didn't have that same help. And that guy makes it. That's the guy I want on my team. And I want to be able to convince some of the owners that they can do that too. If you haven't done it, call me. Let me talk you through some of the challenges and some of the victories we've had while we've tried to do that. And you can reach me at Stratus Roofing anytime. Certainly you can look us up on
most definitely
web pages. But I'll give you my direct cell phone number this one time if there's a business owner out there who's doubting me.
Well, I'm not. Hey, listen,
I'm going to take a risk.
I'm not asking you to give your cell phone number out there, Arthur, but give it give it your website. Right, those any business owner that's out there that want to connect with any of our guests, you can get a hold of Florida Rights Restoration Coalition. You can give us a call. 1-877-MY-VOTE-0, 1-877-MY-VOTE-0, said that you heard a guest on the podcast, on our Voice podcast, and you need to connect with them, and we'll make sure that we'll make the connection. But we don't want to put that personal information out there. But Arthur, John, I mean, you guys are men of faith, and I know that you all had your own trials, and now you're doing amazing work in the community, and we want to just thank you for that and for giving people an opportunity to really pursue life, happiness, and freedom.
That's right. That's right. And I just want to say, Arthur, thank you for making that clarion call. I believe there's going to be some business owner who's going to take you up on that offer and say, hey, I'd really like to do this, but I don't know how. So I'm going to get into the business of helping people with second chances. And John, I'm going to say it in front of the world. I'm just going to apologize to you. I know what was going to happen when I showed Desmond that video of you dancing. You're a superstar in my mind, but man, so thank you.
I think Arthur, I'm going to get a video of Arthur. Yeah. I'm going to show you that video, Arthur, and I think that you can top that, but I definitely want to make sure offline we're going to connect you to, because I think you two are amazing guys. When I buy my property, I know Arthur's going to take care of my roof, and John is going to take care of the interior designing.
That's right.
Get me right and renovate me. So I really appreciate you guys and knowing that we'll definitely be tapping into you all for some work that we're doing, because we're going to be rolling out some huge programs around second chance hiring. And we want to make sure that we be able to lend your voices to it.
Yeah, thanks for inspiring us, guys.
Keep doing it.
All right, I guess it just keeps coming, Desmond.
It's coming.
Man, we got another business owner,
superstar. This guy here is a straight superstar, and not just because he's a member of FRC, right? Not because he's a business owner, but guess what? He is like doing some amazing work in the county in which he's in. Let's bring him on.
All right. Can we go ahead and bring Davion on?
Thanks for calling.
Hey, Davion, can you hear us?
Please record your message.
We're hearing a recorded message. Oh, Davion, you out there?
Hello. Yeah, reached John with LED Electrical Contracts. Call at this time, but if you relieve your name.
We're getting his voicemail, guys.
I'll be sure to call you back at my earliest convenience. For a quicker response, feel free to text me, and I will be sure.
Well, wow. We go ahead. I guess we got to text Davion.
All right, we'll go ahead and we'll text Davion and get him on the phone, man. I'll tell you what, though, when I think about Davion, and I guess we'll hear it directly from him, but I don't know that guy sleeps.
No, he doesn't, man. He's constantly grinding, man. But let me tell you, I have been impressed with our guest today.
Yeah, me too.
Arthur and John and, all the way to our first guest. I mean, it's
think about, right now, today, our life is, we got reentry programs, we got friends, we got people in the community calling saying, man, we need to hire people. Like, it is just, it's unbelievable. And then when people find out that it's like, oh, wow, there's the whole group of amazing individuals who could be hired, but instead, there's some challenges, there's some holdups, or the HR system is set up in a way that can't even get an application put in. And then for me to hear Arthur just kind of remind us, it's like, man, I can show you how to do this. What
did he say, right? That the thing that he said that really stuck out was that the he let go of people, right, who even had degrees and who fresh out of college or who never been in trouble, right? That returning citizens are no different.
Hey, what's up, Dez and Neil?
Hey, there he is, Davion.
Hey, so the whole world heard your voicemail, right? It was a good thing that you had one of them good professional voicemails on, right?
Yes, sir. What's going on, guys?
Man, we were just talking about you, Davion. I literally just said, man, I don't think that guy sleeps. So, do you sleep? I know that's not the question that we were supposed to start with, but if so, when?
I sleep from 12 to 4, 7 days a week, 12 midnight to 4 a.m.
Well, Davion, listen, we don't have that much time, man. And listen, I want to just jump right in, man. Tell the folks what you do.
Hey, man. I got many things that I do, Dez. I'm a returning citizen, number one. So I'm definitely an advocate for returning citizens based on FRC being my chapter, my brotherhood, my organization that birthed me and the new start in me after getting out of prison back in 2018, April 27th, I believe, the weekend of April 27th, when we all was up at Canterbury Retreat.
Yes.
You invited the 50 men and all that with Norris Henderson and all these guys, with Nola. This is the day that I knew I had everything in me, but it was rebirthed at this time with the invite from FRC, and I've been on fire ever since. So it all started that day there, and now, man, I'm an entrepreneur as far as I build homes throughout not just Seminole County now, throughout multiple counties within Central Florida. I joined forces with other convicted felons. I started other businesses. I got a dump truck business. We got excavating. We just yesterday for my brother's birthday, we just launched a new transport company where we transport cars from state to state. I own a store in the community that I come from. That used to be a drug riddle community. I changed into a safe haven where everybody, got something to talk about. The community of Midway, and they can relay to Annie D's. Yeah, that's what Annie D's is versus, hey, that's where all the black people at that shooting and all this good stuff. So, just to hear those things change and all that good stuff, man, it just keeps me going, and it drives me to keep going every day, knowing that there's somebody out there just need a little bump and a little help to get to the next level. And because I had a little help.
Well, hey, man, wow. Davey, I mean, that is like I got hair standing up on my arms listening to you share that story and just knowing you're an inspiration to all of us, man. Can you dig a little deeper into this? You got a project where you're actually helping to house people who are returning citizens, and you're hiring people to build houses who are returning citizens, man. You called me a couple of weeks ago. You were in the driveway, and you're on speaker with your colleague, man, and just made my day. Can you dig a little bit deeper into that whole situation, man?
Well, yeah. So, me and my family is my family, they believed in me and I believed in them, and they knew I had it in me, but the change is what brought my brothers and my mom and everybody along to help me with these visions and dreams to help people from our community. So yeah, we got a couple homes what we bought, and we returning citizens. We started out small because we wanted returning citizens from our community that come home to have a place to stay and be able to sleep comfortable, and also give them a place for employment and make sure their bills getting paid, and just teach them the transition back into life, and making sure people that come from my community be able to get back on their feet, and if I feel like by me doing that, we can all make a better community, and if we can each one do that in our communities, we'll make a better society, a better world. And that's just my way of thinking about that.
Wow, man, that's so amazing, Davion. I mean, you didn't have to do this. I mean, there are people that get out and say, well, I'm just gonna get me, right? And you could have just easily said, you know what, let me go ahead and do this thing and make this money and take care of my kids, take care of my family, and just make sure I'm right. But it seems as you went above and beyond that, man. What is that driving force, man, that causes you to want to just do so much for other people?
Hey, Dad, to be honest with you, man, not to pull on you or Neil or whatever, but the God on the truth, man. It's just seeing God through y'all, y'all was the beacon of light that I've seen that where, when you told me your story at Canterbury and all that good stuff, and I see where you came from and what you had going on, and I said, hey, if that brother can do it, I can do it. And meaning, I'm joining forces with you, and I was I'm one of those leaders within the organization to where I'm saying, hey, I'm with you, but I'm gonna go over here and start this up to bring, our team over here to meet up with us again. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So just seeing what you guys went through and where y'all came from, it can be done, and all you got to do is have a few good people around you that went through what you went through and understand. My thing is, it take one that was one to reach one that is one. And that's what y'all done to me.
Oh, man, that is powerful, Davian. I got to tell you that I have a specific memory of, like, man, having that rough day, right? We're advocates, so sometimes things go right. You can do everything right in this business and something still goes wrong. Or honestly, sometimes, and not everybody will admit it, you can do things not so right and it still goes right and you look good. But the truth is, I was having one of those other days, right, where we're working hard and we're struggling, especially around that issue of housing. And it was your story, man, your get up and go, your commitment to taking the bull by the horns and saying, you know what, I can make a difference right here, right now with what I got. Yeah. And it just charged me up that day, man. So I just want to thank you for being a part of this whole brotherhood, this whole family that is FRC, this movement of people who have been impacted by the system that's just really making change in Florida, man. You're an inspiration, my friend.
Well, I'm definitely proud to call it one of our own, man, because Davion, you killing two birds with one stone, man, that returning citizens face challenges of employment and they face challenges of getting housing. And you're like taking care of both of them, man. Right.
So there, y'all know my electrical company. I forgot to mention the electrical company. And, man, there's so much going on. I can't remember half of it, talking to you guys. But my electrical company, which was my baby, that's my forte. That's what I came up through working with NASA before going to prison. I gave that business to another returning citizen, and I only own 22.5% of that company now.
I was about to say, man, you like the guy on the Living Color. Hey, man, how many companies you got, man?
yeah. So it's just me a matter of just trying to help other brothers, man, because I know we don't get the chance. Yeah. People always close the doors on us, saying no. And with our organization and what we stand for, we know there is a yes. There is a yes, and we can if we gonna make you say yes. You get what I'm saying? And that's just where I'm at with it. But all the thing I can say to people there, and one thing I want to leave the world with, and I just want them to look at the simple thing of a car battery, just a battery in general, a watch battery, anything. Nothing never lasts forever. You got a negative and a positive to anything that goes on in life. You know what I'm saying? A car battery got a negative and it's got a positive. It's got to run concurrent with each other, run on parallel with each other, however you want to say it, in order for any positive output to be put out. So therefore, that you're going to face challenges every day, but it's going to take you. I'm talking about you, the one that knows how to put positive output out to run concurrent with the negativity, and therefore things will move in the direction it's moving in for me, like it's doing for me and it's doing for you guys.
Well, you know what, man? You left us with the word right there, man. Yep. That even though there's the positive and negative things that happen in your life, we use both of them to create that power, that energy to keep moving forward, right?
Keep moving forward.
Wow, man. Listen, Davion, man, thank you so much for joining us, man. It's definitely been a pleasure. You are, I can tell you, I'm not speaking for Neil, that you are a hero of ours, bro. Just to see how far you've come and the good that you're doing in our communities, man, it is to be commended, bro.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Right. I appreciate y'all, man, for all that y'all doing.
All right, man. Hey, listen, we'll catch up with you, bro.
Absolutely, man. We got to get out there to Midway.
All right, we'll do, man. We changing the community, man. You come Midway to see houses being built, land being cleared. Hey, the neighborhood's changing, man.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Right.
Thank you so much, Davion.
Thanks, Davion. We appreciate you, man.
I appreciate y'all. Take it easy.
All right. So this is it, Neil. Man, tell you, time flies like crazy, bro.
Man, you talk about some amazing leaders right there. Overcomers, man, the whole thing.
Listen, if you didn't get nothing else from today's show, right, I hope that you be inspired that there are people out there that you may be having a hard time finding employment, or you may be in a dead-end job, that there are people out there with backgrounds, man, that are doing amazing things and are going beyond. Like Dorothy, right? GQ, don't quit. Don't quit, man, because there are other returning citizens out there that can be an inspiration. And then there are people like Arthur, right, who's not a returning citizen, but have the love within his heart to want to make sure that he do everything possible to give people an opportunity to be successful. So don't give up. Whoever you are that's out there, don't give up, man. Be inspired by these stories and just know that there are people out there who care about you and want the best for you.
Yeah, man. And keep coming back to the show. You know, we want this to be a place of hope. We want this to be a place where we can grow together. We can unpack some stuff and dissect it all and get into some fun conversations. But at the end of the day, man, take that step. Whatever it is in front of you, take that step, man. That's what everybody on this call did.
Yep.
Great show, Des.
All right, man. So listen, everybody, see y'all in a couple of weeks. We're going to have a surprise guest on.
Did you say surprise?
It's going to be a surprise, man. We can't even let it out right now. We can't even let it out right now. It is that top secret. We want to make sure that this thing falls through right. So we're not putting it out there because there might be some haters out there that might try to block this, right? So we're going to make sure that we go ahead and land this plane. But, hey, y'all got to check us out in a couple of weeks. Make sure you tell your friends, download the Fireside Chat app. And listen, we're going to be soon opening our stores. We got these retro shirts, right? We got the Vote Canvas shirts. We got Let My People Vote shirts and other items that we're going to be putting on our website for sale. Coming up soon. Keep an eye out.
And I just want to say thank you, Desmond. And I love that idea, right? That's the entrepreneur thing that we're talking about right now. Like, man, keep fueling the movement.
Hey, I'm trying to be like John and Davion and Dorothy, man. I'm trying to make it happen.
That's exactly right. Well, thanks, y'all.
All right. Peace, love, and happiness, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.